Hello, my name's Ryan Blake, and this is my replica of Virginia Truckee Motor Car 24. I finished this motor car in about 2022, and I'm about to do it again, but this time with a 1917 white truck. I'm going to be building a replica of Motor Car 23, the Canary. Back in October of last year, I purchased this 1.5-ton white truck to bring a childhood dream to life. This old truck will be the foundation for bringing back a V&T legend, the Canary. In this video series, I will document how I'm going to restore this truck and replicate it as Motor Car 23. I think what I'll start with is removing everything on the back and moving forward on the vehicle. So I'll just start removing all the bed. A lot of this wood's going to get thrown out because it's just rot. It's still dry and rot. The cab has seen better days, but I won't be using that. No idea what kind of condition the inside of the gas tank is like. I haven't opened it yet. I actually haven't touched anything on this vehicle since I purchased it. I wanted to wait till I started doing these videos. So here's the engine. The passenger side. I have to do some research on the wiring for this still. The carburetor is also not original to this vehicle. It is a Zenith. And now we'll go to the other side. The driver's side. So, looks like it still has its original magneto. And then we have here a toolbox with some goodies that I'll have to clean through. And then that was the battery box. There's not much of it left. Yeah, it's all messed up. So, it also has these shocks at the front here, off the frame. V&T 23 never had these, and what I'm actually going to have to do is take them off and then cut the frame probably back here and build a new front frame member that's going to just connect to the leaf spring down here. These old whites came with various different wheelbases, and this particular truck probably would be perfect for a replica of V&T Motor Car 99. But for the 23, the suspension actually came all the way up to the end of the frame. So we probably are going to move the rear wheel back by, I don't know, that looks like maybe a little less than a foot. So we're going to do that later in the year, hopefully. And this really isn't the perfect truck for the 23. The 23, well, I've already mentioned some of the problems with this as a replica, but being the suspension and then the rear. But the other thing is that it is a left-hand drive, and the 23 was actually right-hand drive. Finding a right-hand drive white of this vintage is probably nearly impossible. So we're just gonna have to live with it being like that. In my opinion, that's pretty minor. Yeah, we're just, I think that's about it. I think now it's just time to start ripping the back apart. I'm gonna measure the bed and see if I need to cut these boards in half, make it a little easier to take them to the dump. So our bed is 11 feet 8 inches. I already have some stuff on the back of the truck to take to the dump. And this bed is 6 feet 5 inches, about. So I think I'm going to cut those boards on the deck. Actually, before I start removing the deck, I think I'm going to remove this back framing here, and then also get rid of some of the loose stuff on the deck. I think these metal straps went probably along the edge at one point. All the stuff that's not going to be used for this project will be either donated or sold to someone that needs it for their own restoration. So if you're looking for a cab and fenders for an old white, let me know. I'm going to get on top of it and see if I can get this framing off. Hopefully I don't fall through the deck. That was easy. This thing's just so rotten. Forgot my gloves at my museum, so hopefully I don't get any splinters here. I think I'm going to cut just directly across, put it in half. I don't see any nails or anything there, so we'll give that a shot. good news is, I guess it's not directly well. Alright, I give up. I need a new battery. Okay, so while I'm waiting for the solder charge, I'm gonna start taking some of these support members that the previous owner put on the vehicle, and then I have our helper number 2, gonna help me try getting the cab off. This is Mr. Richard. That's okay. What we'll do is we'll do it on the ground and do that. Maybe try something already. Yeah, okay. I'm going to lift this end and you do the other end. Let's just do it on the floor and we'll make plant beacons out of these. This bed is falling apart. That's okay. At least these people are they just fall apart. It's so hot. Yeah, that's sort of okay, so attached to well, there goes that. Okay. Well, strap that in. Careful. Cool. We're now working on getting the front of the cab off, and the first thing we're doing is we're removing the speedometer. It currently reads 90,000 miles on it, so looks like we got a 90,000 mile truck.
Yeah.
All right, ready?
Let's take it out.
There's only one bolt holding the speedometer in place. All right, we got the front of the cab off. except for this last little bit here. So we're going to get that last bit off, and then we're going to look at getting this and the thing that goes around the gas tank off. I'm not sure how that's all put together, so I'm going to have to look into that. Alright, front end of the cab is off. Put the handbrake back. There we go. There we go. Yeah. That's cool. It says drive, 4th gear, 1st, 2nd, reverse.
Not sure if this one.
All right. Floorboards are out. There we go. Alright, last part to remove for today. It's getting kind of late. Alright, the next thing we got to take off is this portion of the cab. We're going to leave the firewall in place though. There's a lot of bolts on this, so we're probably actually going to get to this another day since it's getting kind of late.
Yeah.
Alright, it is day 2, and we're going to try continuing removing this portion of the cab, which is probably not going to be fun. You might not even need that wrench. These are just coming out pretty easy. Tacking it from the bottom isn't working, so I'm going to try getting it from the top, and the only way to getting it from the top is if I remove the fuel tank. So I'm going to try to do that now. First, going to get some of the larger things up before I vacuum the top of it. Stuff is just going to go in the trash. Help if I plug the vacuum in. don't think there's anything holding the tank in place other than the fuel cable, the fuel line. All right. See if I can get the fuel disconnected. Well, that was easy. Okay. Ah, look how easy that was. All right. Fuel tank off. Ugh. What a mess. I'm gonna vacuum this up. All right. After doing some thinking, I found that in the floor jack, I was able to actually lift the tank shroud up a little bit. Yeah, it's going. Whew. So it should be loose now, at least. Oh yeah, oh, look at that. Might even be able to get the other side now. Yeah, look at that, cool. Next, I guess, will be to get this piece off. Should be relatively easier to do, I think. One down. Oh. I might have not even had to take those last two off. I just slipped on. Okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna get this side off, but I'm gonna spare you from having to watch me do that. There's no easy way about getting these nuts off, because the clearance is... Well, I could be using a better wrench. They are coming loose. Okay, next I need to remove this plating here. It's just a nut that holds it in place on here, and then on the other side, and then there might be, and then there's two nuts here that hold it in place also. So I'll start doing that now. You know, one thing that I'm really liking on this truck so far is every single bolt, almost, is coming off really easily. I was expecting a lot of things to be frozen since this thing sat outside for so long. I'd use a ratchet on his, but the crank would be in the way, so I have to use the wrench. There it goes. Now the other side didn't come off, which is interesting, or need to come off. All right. Well, that's interesting, I guess. You see some of the original red paint on there too. Hopefully it's coming loose and I don't have to put a wrench on the back. It's going to be a pain in the butt. It looks like it's coming loose without a wrench on the back. Okay. Now it should just hopefully slide up. Hey, look at that. That was pretty easy. No more fender. Last time that I'll ever wear that fender. Okay. Well, I'm gonna skip showing you this one again, but we're getting there. Almost done. The fenders are removed now, and the last thing I think I need to get off after this is the shin busters. Not sure why, but this side's bolted, this side's riveted. So let's see if they can they'll come off nicely. There's one. little bit more surface too. Lifting the entire side of the truck. Oh, it is coming off. There it goes. Whew. Not too bad. Well, we're almost done removing everything that's not going to be used for the 23. Next is going to be what's left of the muffler, and after this is off, we can get the exhaust pipe off. This exhaust pipe is not going to be used for the 23. 23 actually had a whistle exhaust, so I'm going to look for one of those. I think it was a Jericho Model 4 whistle. So I'll be on the hunt for one of those, and that'll be our noisemaker for the train. So let's see if I can get this guy off now. Everything else has been pretty easy so far. And this one is also going to be easy to remove. Spring off for the exhaust cutout. There's that. See if I can remove this part now, and I'll be, I think that's it after this. Pretty heavy. Catching up on something. Well, that's it. The everything is removed that doesn't belong to 23. Not sure what I'm going to do with all this stuff. I would just give it to whoever wants to restore an old white that needs this stuff. So if you're looking to restore a white truck and you need a cab, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching episode 1. We got quite a bit done today. And yesterday. Of course, this project's being completely funded by myself, and I just set up a Patreon to try to help fund this project. If you'd be interested in helping, there'll be a link in the description for my Patreon. Next time we'll be looking at the engine and seeing if we can get this old girl running. So if you're interested in this project so far, please consider subscribing, checking out my Patreon, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.